going on, Jerome's? It's time for the most accurate power rankings in the known universe, and if you disagree with any single one of the rankings, you're wrong. How does it feel? You've seen all the rest. Now it's time for the best. That's right. So a new element this week. So we introduced the Ask-Doza line, which I realize that there's about a dozen teams in the league that are just completely ass. Thank you. So every team below this is just garbage. You want to stay above the Ask-Doza line. Starting off as we always do at 33 and 32 respectively. You got the Packers and the Bears. Whatever. All right, so the Packers, last second win against the Texans. CJ Stroud did not have a good day, but the Bears on bye. Frankly, the bye is the best defense that the Bears have faced in the last 3 games, and also the next 3 games as well. No problem. 31, you got the Cleveland Browns. So Sean Watson pops his Achilles, probably a blessing in disguise because I think Jameis gives this team the best chance to win. Nick Chubb is back, and unless they completely strip this roster at the deadline, you trade Myles Garrett, maybe Newsome, maybe Denzel Ward. Don't know. They'll have a chance to turn things around. Although I would love Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in purple. I've always wanted him since he came out of Notre Dame. But I think our guy Stefanski is going to get thrown under the bus. I absolutely think that he will. 30 at the Panthers. What's the point? All right, what's the point here? First off, once Adam Thielen gets back from IR, free him so that he can come back. But if you're a Panthers fan, like, what do you have to look forward to? Like, you still owe draft picks to Chicago. Bryce Young doesn't look like the answer. Do you trade him? All right. I don't know. But I can't think of a situation in recent NFL history where it just seems this hopeless. And it sucks because Carolina Panther fans, they're loud, they're proud, and they support their team through thick and thin, but there's been a ton of thin as of late. Next up, number 29, got the Patriots. How do you lose the Jaguars? All right, and just look so listless, and defensively, they flipped the script. Like, they largely have the same personnel, minus Judon, and as last season when they were one of the better defenses in the league, but it just isn't clicking, right? And I don't know, is Mayo one and done in this spot? Doesn't seem like something Robert Kraft would do, but I don't know. Like, I feel like, do they bring back Josh McDaniels? At least as OC? Have him work with Drake May? It's a possibility. At least May is showing a little something. Everyone else. Hey, Michael Onwenu, come on into the Vikings, baby. Let's go. 29, you got the Tennessee Titans down one spot. They got the bang thing put on them up in Buffalo. Again, this is another one of those teams where it's just like, what is the point? Let DeAndre Hopkins go somewhere else. Mason Rudolph is terrible. Will Levis ain't much better. And hey, Jeffrey Simmons. Hey, L'Jarius Sneed. How do you go from the Chiefs to the Titans? Ooh, took the money and ran. Happens. 27. You got the Jets, Jets. So the Rodgers experiment has failed, and I mean the Jets are in a similar situation to the Panthers. Like, what do you do? Like, do you try and make a play for Shedeur Sanders? But this is a systemic issue. Ownership, GM, coach, everyone, right? And Rodgers, he got his guy Devontae Adams. They didn't do anything. There's 2-5. They're going to end up 2-10 very soon, and this is all on him. Like, he was the de facto GM. He got Saleh fired. He made them hire Nathaniel Hackett as his guy. Now it's done. It's a wrap. 26. Although I really do enjoy seeing Rodgers completely fail. It happens. Jaguars at 26. Yeah, they won a game, but I think Doug is going to get fired. That's probably why they flexed Jaguars, Eagles out of the Sunday Night Football slot for Week 9. And Jacksonville, I mean, you paid Trevor Lawrence the huge contract. Don't know if he's the guy. At least Brian Thomas Jr. is looking good. Tank Bigsby had himself a couple of touchdowns, so there you go. 25, you got the Cowboys on bye. They showed up for the bye, Cancun on 3, better than they did the Lions game. So that's what happens. But, I mean, for the Cowboys, they're still a mess. The defense is bad, although it looked like Parsons might be able to return sometime soon. Mike McCarthy ain't it. And, Jerry Jones saying, like, as Derrick Henry's rumbling for 5,000 yards for the Ravens, he wouldn't fit our scheme. Oh, we couldn't afford him. Baloney. Jerry just don't want to do anything because he's Jerry. He doesn't want to do what everyone wants him to do, which is the smart move. That's what he does. 24, you got the Raiders. Just sort of a listless loss out against the Rams. Aiden O'Connell got hurt. Devontae Adams quit. Jacoby Myers is injured. Antonio Pierce, it's weird because the players advocated for him, and now they just kind of want to throw him under the bus. I think there's a chance that Pierce could be one and done with the Raiders. Like, what are the chances that the Raiders make a play for Shedeur Sanders and then they hire Deion Sanders, his pops? I mean, the Raiders have gone from this tough, gritty, like working class team in Oakland, and they're amazing and had the best home field in the league. Now they're just glitz, glamour, and $50,000 suites, and they have the worst home field advantage in the league. And now it's just about selling tickets. So if you're going to play that game, just go get Deion. 23, you got the Saints down one spot. So they got the bank lane put on them by the Broncos on Thursday night. But all the injuries, all the cap. But, hey, at least they extended Kamara. Hey, when the chips are down, extend your old-ass running back for a couple seasons when you're already in cap hell. Just extend that thing out. All right. 22. Got the Dolphins down one spot. Just sort of a whatever loss against the Colts. I mean, it was just really like watching two bad D3 teams. And the Dolphins, like, they're kickstarting Tua's return to practice, probably going to play week 8. Should he play? Should he not play? I mean, I guess ultimately it's his decision, but I don't see this ending great. And also him throwing the Guardian caps under the bus. Okay. But I don't know. Maybe Tyreek will actually do something for fantasy teams. The Giants down one spot, just completely getting blanked at home by the Eagles. They look unprepared. They look like a mess. Daniel Jones got benched essentially for Drew Lock. They have to make a decision. Frankly, they should sit him since a lot of his 2025 salary is injury guaranteed. And if he gets hurt, he gets it. All right. So sit him, start Drew Lock, tank Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward. Actually, Cam Ward would do great with the Giants. We'll see. All right, so above the Asdoza line. So, again, every team under this, hopeless. They're done, including the Cowboys. 20, got the Broncos up 3 spots. So, they're starting to do a little something. I don't believe in Bo Nix at all, but the defense is looking pretty damn legit. Vance Joseph, Vance Refrigeration is looking good. What's interesting, so they did this without Surtain as well. Plus, Vance Joseph was the head coach of the Broncos. Like, I don't understand I know it's a different regime per se, but I don't understand how you could possibly return to your old team as defensive coordinator. It'd be like if Flores left and Zimmer gets rehired as defensive coordinator. Never happened. Although I feel like there's a lot more acrimony in that divorce. But 19, you got the Niners. They're bad. They're straight up bad. Right now. Brock Purdy throwing 3 interceptions against the Chiefs. Debo having pneumonia. Ayuk tearing multiple ligaments. Hopefully he heals up soon. And didn't necessarily like the way that he handled his contract business, but I mean, it shows you why players do it. And you understand it, right? Where they use the leverage wherever they can get it because you're always one play away. I mean, that could legitimately be a career-altering injury for Ayuk. And this joke has been made a lot. How's the Niners' healthiest wide receiver the guy who got shot 2 months ago? Ricky Pearsall, come on down. And I don't know. Basically, I think the Niners are purposely trying to tank just to make the Vikings week 2 win over them look terrible. But 18, you got the Rams. Vikings play the Rams Thursday Night Football. They got a gritty, gutty win at home against an undermanned Raiders team. And the Rams have injuries. Kupp is coming back, but he might be on the trade block. Puka's still weeks away. Stafford, I mean, this probably is going to be it. I mean, do you just trade him to a quarterback-needy team? Maybe. 17, got the Colts. So I still don't know what to make of the Colts. They got to win at home against a bad Dolphins team. They're looking to get Buckner and Jonathan Taylor-Thomas back. Anthony Richardson is hot and cold. Like, he's streaky. He's sometimes good, and sometimes he looks like he's never seen a football in his life. Also, I think he's only had like 20 career starts since high school. So there you go. 16, you got the Chargers down 5 spots. I mean, they're starting to get things together, but Herbert is thrown to nobodies. He absolutely is. Defensively, I mean, they're aight, but I mean, they lost a close fight against the Cardinals on Monday night. The boring of the 2 Monday night games. 15, Falcons down 5 spots. So they had this beautiful opportunity to really have a statement win, move to 5-2 against the Seahawks, who had lost 3 in a row, but they didn't show up. They didn't. And I don't know if there's a quick fix for this. Like, I know they basically won their Super Bowl that Thursday night game against the Buccaneers. Now they get the Bucs this week, and the Bucs are without Godwin and Evans, which just sucks. Just sucks, man. But I don't know. Like, you really scared of the Falcons? Nah, not particularly. 14, you got the Cardinals up 3 spots. So I'm riding and dying with the Cardinals. Like, I believe in Kyler. I believe in Marvin Harrison Jr. I believe in Trey McBride. John Connor's been an absolute monster this season. Defensively, they're starting to piece together a little something. I mean, Gannon and the Cardinals and our guy Drew Petzing as OC. Go ahead. 13 got Oregon because Texas got their ass kicked. But the Ducks 7-0. One Friday night, blanking Purdue. The classic Big Ten matchup, Oregon at Purdue. Great. And Dan Lanning. So you got to respect what Lanning has done. Like, he's still relatively young. And, I mean, does he make the leap to the NFL, or is he a college guy for life? Don't know. Also, it's good to see Oregon roll along. How would they ever replace Bo Nix? 12, you got the Eagles. So I'm still not buying the Eagles per se, but I mean, there's a lot of meh teams in the league right now. But the Eagles put the bang thing on the Giants, and they're starting to get things going a little bit, but I still think that they're paper mache, and frankly, Nick Sirianni should be fired. And next up, number 11, you got the Bengals. A win on the road against the Browns. Ugh. I mean, it's nice to see T. Higgins coming into his own. Chase is still dangerous. Frankly, I think that should pay both of them. Burrow started to turn things around, but I don't know. Like, since he's at 3-4, like, did they start off too late? Remains to be seen. 10, you got the Buccaneers down 3 spots. So the Bucs, I mean, they got out that 10-point lead against the Ravens, but then Baltimore scored like 97,000 unanswered points. Defensively, like, they're not getting home. The coverage on the back end is terrible, and they got to get Winfield back. And also the Godwin injury was just terrible, man. And Evans is going to be missing until probably week 12 of that hamstring. So what started out as a promising go for the Buccaneers, and Baker was playing relatively mistake-free football, but he just collapsed in on himself like a dying star. But hey, at least he got 3 running backs. And also, K. Dotton catching all the hospital balls. 9, you got the Seahawks up 5 spots. A big-time win, momentum-shifting win. Kenneth Walker, the second Jordan flu/hangover game, got things done. 8, got the Steelers up 4 spots. So, a lot of people, myself included, criticized them going to Russ. I mean, the offense looked pretty good. Like, Russ doesn't have the arm strength that he used to have, but the offense was efficient. George Pickens looked really damn good. Defensively, they're always going to get after guys. So, I mean, Tomlin might have himself another squad again. 7, you got the Texans down 4 spots. It was a near-run thing up in Green Bay. I'm told that that's a tough place to play, so the Vikings getting a win there should be kind of a big deal. Yeah. But the Texans, Stroud did not have a good day. He just did not. Joe Mixon was a monster out there. They do certainly miss Nico Collins, but Collins will be back here in a couple weeks, and then they'll go from there. 6, you got the Commies. So Jaden Daniels exited the game early with a rib injury, but no factor. I mean, Mariota was operating the offense with a plum, and the Commies just took care of business at home. It was against the Panthers, so I don't know if it means a lot, but it's not nothing. 5, you got the Bills up 3 spots. Holding serve at home against the Tennessee Titans. They're 5-2. Amari Cooper caught a touchdown on his first catch as a Bill. And, I mean, Josh Allen has a legitimate weapon now. So, we'll see. 4, got the Ravens up 1 spot. So, Lamar for MVP. Just when they thought that Jared Goff was going to get in the MVP conversation, Lamar was just like, hold my beer. Did you see how Lamar has 22 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions on Monday night in his career? He's like the inverse Kirk Cousins. 3, you got the Vikings. So, near-run thing against the Lions. It sort of is what it is. No moral victories, no silver lining, horseshoes and hand grenades, all that stuff. But at least the Vikings didn't get their doors blown off, right? And the Lions playing some damn good ball. The Vikings dug themselves a hole in that second quarter. They rallied, and they just didn't make a play at the end. So it is what it is, but this is still a very damn good football team. 2, got the Lions. Hey, I was told that the Vikings are good, so the Lions beating the Vikings. Sorry, the 2-point blowout on the road, it's a big deal. But the Lions are really damn good. The running game is elite. Goof getting time behind that offensive line, has all the time in the world. He could eat dinner back there. Defensively, I mean, they did enough to muddy things up for the Vikings. Brian Branch is a star, although his mouth guard in the back of his helmet just tilts the hell out of me. But we'll see the Lions again. Don't worry about that. Lastly, number 1, Chiefs. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I know that the Vikings that won a couple weeks ago. It doesn't matter. But the Chiefs go on the road. Mahomes. So their defense really is the story of their team. Mahomes looks off this year. his fake stepping out of bounds aside, which is Bush League. Kelsey looks like he's distracted. Shocker. But they should trade for Cooper Kupp, right? Like, what is the science experiment says, like, hey, let's just give Mahomes the most mid-wide receivers ever and see what he does with it. It's ridiculous. But that's it. That's at Week 8 NFL Power Rankings. And if you disagree with any single one of the rankings, you're wrong. How does it feel? Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You know what to do. Skull, production value.